Classical pianist Alpin Hong recently visited with Meridian Middle School students and talked to them about music.
Music is full of heroes.
The reason why I do these outreach performances, it's a great testing ground for me. If I can hold down the concentrations of, 200 junior high schoolers, there's no adult audience in the world that will scare me.
You guys want to hear the rest?
If you can get kids to laugh, then in some small way you have their respect. And if you get their respect, then they will listen to you and you can educate them. I think every artist, particularly the young ones, should be doing this. We should be investing in the audience of the future. Particularly classical arts, the complaint is that, and the awareness is that audiences are shrinking every year. The idea of going to a live performance is less and less palatable for many families. Either can't afford it, or the very fact that home entertainment is sophisticated to the point now that you don't have to leave your home in order to get very dramatic entertainment. But I still think there's something to the experience of seeing something live. I think that experience for these kids, for them, this might be their only chance to see a classical pianist. And for that reason, I've made it my goal to try to reach as many kids as possible, so that not only for those of them that are aspiring musicians, that they can inspire to do that. If they do, that's great. But my intention is not actually to make a bunch of musicians out of them. However, I would consider it success if I feel like they've learned to listen and critically analyze what they hear in some small way. Not only music, but everything. When we're all kids and when we're all students in school, what are the things that you really bring with you, later on? Yes, I do remember the geometry tests, but even more, I do remember the field trips. I remember the assemblies that we had, the artists that influenced me, that made me look outside the walls of my school.
I took this music the other day. Everybody knows that song, everyone just thinks, I'll take U.S. government for $500, Alex, But
I fell into arts education. I wanted to be what every other pianist wanted to be, a concert performer with all the great orchestras of the world and the great concert halls of the world. And that is great, and I had the opportunity to do that.
I mean, that's really great. Can you imagine, taking on somewhere a date and saying, sweetheart, I wrote you something. And she'd be like, oh, that's so pretty, where'd you get that? Jeopardy.
But I felt like that I was heading for a dead end if I did that. I felt like I was playing for a diminishing fraction of the population that was literally dying out. I think we're a couple generations removed from the golden age of classical music, when everybody had it in their home and everybody knew what was. I mean, there's definitely more people that know what. But they're the same notes, they're the same feeling. It's just that whether or not it's John Williams or Beethoven, they generate an emotional response. This is why people hang on to those things. It's very rewarding to me to try to convert an audience to me. It's the challenge that I do every time I put myself in front of a young audience like this, an uninitiated audience like this. But I think, what's really, really great to see is when I encounter teachers, such as the teachers that are here at this school, that are obviously just or more invested than I am in getting their kids to learn these things. Because I do it for 45 minutes, they do it all year. I don't know how they do it, but I admire them and I applaud them for it. And I hope that going forward in the current climate of budgets being cut everywhere by necessity, that people don't lose sight of what the arts actually does in your life. Some people might think of it as being extracurricular. I actually think it's an absolutely essential part of young people's brain development to have the arts in their lives. Look, I mean, you could have a review in the New York Times, but then you can have some middle schooler come up to you and tell you that you're cool. And I would rather have the latter one any day. It's harder to get.